back?
Looks like it.
Are you sure?
These people don't look like dangerous rebels.
You don't look like scary prison guards with dirty hands.
You don't look like you're from the royal family. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thanks for coming. Sorry we're a bit late starting. I know you're all excited for our presentation on principles of MALDI-TOF spectrometry.
On the matrix-assisted laser desorption ionization time of flight mass spectrometry.
We call our MALDI-TOF Bonnie for short.
They thought that I broke Bonnie, but I didn't.
Bonnie, it wasn't broken at all.
It was a lot spookier than that.
Yes. Thank you, Rosa, Frank. I'm sure our sensible science lecture students don't want to hear all about how we got lost in the fog and we went back in time. But I want to tell the story. So it all started last night in our laboratory. We are working late. Have either of you two been working on Bonnie?
I'm running the new batch of SARS-CoV-2 tests.
I'm putting samples on the plates in batches, how you showed me.
Well, Bonnie's flashing as if there are results. Oh, okay. As you're all signed up to the MALDI-TOF lecture, this will interest you. Mass spectrometry allows us to fire a laser at a test sample, blasting it into parts, and the pattern of lines identifies the bug.
See what's in there. Run the results.
What's that?
Nothing I've seen before.
It looks like letters.
It's reading the impact of proteins, Rosa. It's not a book. Can't be writing.
Look, that is definitely a H.
I'll write them down.
E. This is spooky. L. P. E.
HELPE.
HELPE? I don't know what's weirder, that Bonnie's writing or that Bonnie can't spell.
Bonnie is asking for our help.
Bonnie is a sophisticated piece of clinical engineering, not a video game. She doesn't do messages. She doesn't need help. Just turn the power off and on again.
Oh, my.
HELPE is gone. Replaced by a map.
Let me see that.
Is that Great Ormond Street? I can see the outline of the hospital.
Is that a little X at the top of Lamb's Conduit Street by Corum's Fields?
Perhaps that's where the message is coming from. Someone at the top of Lamb's Conduit Street needs our help.
Oh, little green children from the planet Mars bar. This is a mass spectrometer. None of this can be happening. You watch too much Doctor Who.
But the evidence.
Well, we're tired. We're working hard. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Our shift ended 2 hours ago. Unplug Bonnie and we'll say no more about it. That's that.
The map's gone.
It wasn't a map.
It said Lamb's Conduit Fields.
Come on, Frank, have you ever come across secret messages in spectrometry charts or maps in routine test results? Of course not. It's completely unscientific.
The chances are mathematically infinitesimal, less than 0.001357.
But
we're scientists. I'll have a biomedical engineer check over Bonnie's screen tomorrow. Let's go home and never speak of this again.
All right, then. I'll head off.
Me too.
Yeah, we're on again in 8 hours, so let's make a move.
Why me?
Oh.
Where did all this fog come from?
It's often foggy in November.
I've never seen such thick fog. I can't see the street lights.
I can't hear the traffic.
Oh, it's spooky.
Are you going to the tube station?
I'm just going to pop to the shop for chewing gum.
Rosa?
I'm going to go this way and get the bus.
Well, at least none of us is going to the top of Lamb's Conduit Street, eh?
No.
X marks the spot.
How silly.
It's very funny.
So, see you tomorrow then.
Yeah, good night.
Cheery, bye. Lamb's Conduit Street.
Right to the top.
X marks the spot.
What's that?
Who is it?
Oh!
Oh!
Oh! What are you both doing here? Frank, did you get lost looking for chewing gum?
In all honesty, no. I couldn't resist coming here to have a look at where X marked the spot, in the spirit of scientific curiosity.
Same here.
Well, I can't see anyone.
Here you are. I've been waiting and waiting for you on my own.
Okay.
You may curtsy now. Not you. Boys, bow. I'm glad I don't bow. If I was wearing a tiara, it would fall off. Once, my father's courier bowed so low in the garden at Dunfermline Palace, his beard got stuck on a rose bush. That's really true, and it was so funny. I'm not supposed to laugh, so I had to do this with my mouth.
I can't believe I'm asking this, but did you send us a message?
Not a message, a command.
Well, how did you send a command through our machine?
No time for silly questions. Your princess needs your help.
Princess?
Princess Elizabeth Stuart, and I'm 9 and a quarter. Don't look so astonished at me. I really am, and I'm 10 next, so there.
Elizabeth?
Princess?
Yeah. Princess Elizabeth? What are you doing out so late on your own?
It's truly terrible. You have to help.
Okay, well, we'll help if we can.
There is a plot to get rid of my father, King James I.
You mean the Gunpowder Plot?
1605.
How do you know that? Are you involved? Are you plotters? Help! Help! Help!
Help!
Help!
No, it's all right. It's all right. We're here to help, E. We're scientists.
We work at the Children's Hospital.
We help children all the time. We've never helped a princess before.
Well, it's like this. The soldiers at the Palace of Westminster uncovered the plot. They arrested a stranger hiding in the Undercroft. He won't say where the gang are hiding, but their plot is to get rid of my father and make me queen. At first I thought, I can eat cake for breakfast and throw my school books out the window and make it a law. It's my birthday every day. Imagine, I'd be like 10 tomorrow, 11 on Sunday. By next Wednesday, I'm almost 15.
So the help that you need from us.
Well, I've realised being queen is actually quite rubbish. The big crown is so heavy and you have to sit for hours signing papers, which is even worse than homework. You have to do wars, have loads of portraits painted and, oh, yuck, get married.
I don't exactly see how we can help.
You said you would. You promised. You said you help children.
Oh, no, please, don't cry.
We'll do what we can.
I knew I could count on you. But how can you help? We'll have to go to the Tower of London and interview the prisoner and go to the Houses of Parliament and look for clues. And if we don't catch the plotters tonight, it will be too late. It will be homework and marriage forever. And there's not enough time.
No, look, I'm sure there's a way. We're scientists. We'll do it systematically by splitting up You and I can go to the tower. Frank and Rosa will look for clues in the
Undercroft.
How do we get to the Undercroft?
I drew you a map.
That's the map we saw on Bonnie. How did you manage to project visual imagery across time and into our digital equipment?
It was easy. I'll tell you later. The boat is waiting.
I didn't know there was a river near here.
You silly science sissies. Everyone knows Mr. Lamb built this water channel to conduct water from the Fleet River for drinking and washing. How do you think Lamb's Conduit Street gets its name? And that's really true. Come on, get in the boat.
Wait a minute. The state opening of Parliament was delayed in 1605 because London had an outbreak of
plague.
Mm.
Oh, it's fine. We burned lots of herbs and the evil air is quite gone. I order you to get in by royal command. I'm a princess and there's no time.
There's always time for infection prevention.
Be aware of risks when handling potentially contaminated materials.
Always wash your hands.
Not in the river water.
Well, make up your silly mind. To the tower.
The tower.
The tower.
Oh, look. The Globe Theatre.
Oh, there's the tower.
Oh, pull in here, Rosa.
Need about a 40-degree angle on your approach. Yeah, that's it.
Got it.
I'm not touching the water.
Good girl.
Good princess.
We've got the map and secret code.
See you later.
Bye.
Good luck.
Oh, so this is the tower in 1605. Formidable place.
Truly terrifying. I'm glad you're here with me to go in first.
Halt!
Hello, sir. This is Princess Elizabeth, daughter of King James. And I'm Lily. I'm a healthcare scientist.
Healthcare what?
A scientist.
Tis what again?
Science.
Put a spell on him, Lily.
Elizabeth, I can't do that.
Turn him into a frog.
Frog, is it?
Make him fall asleep for 1,000 years.
I am a bit tired as it goes. Are you a witch? Because if so, you belong in here all locked up.
I know that you're only doing your job, and I say you're doing it very well. Good for you. I'm sure that you're capable of being very helpful.
Nope.
Well, we'd like to see the prisoner from the Undercroft.
What do you know about him?
Well, not enough. That's why I'd like to ask him a few questions.
Interrogation, is it? Cruel and brutal interrogation?
A few scientific tests.
Aha, torture. Horrible torture and loud interrogation. Well, why didn't you say so? Come on in. Welcome to my humble abode.
What's all this on the floor?
Clean straw.
It's a long time since this straw was clean. It's very smelly.
It's my special floor cover and invention. Every time yon floor mucky, put some more straw on thy floor. Drop ye sandwich, spill ye drink, ye old dog poet, you do not worry. Put more straw on it, nice clean straw.
Elizabeth?
Don't touch.
Good princess.
Well, this here's his cell. Well, mister. I'm not talking man of mystery. Your jig is up. Your goose is cooked. His Majesty the King has sent 2 science witches to make you squawk.
Yes, we'd like to ask you a few questions.
Nah, he don't say nothing to nobody.
Why, knave, you are mistook. I do not stoop to speak with thee, yet unto fair damsel such as she, forsooth, whose words are like unto the sweetest bell, her beauty like the fragrance of a rose inside this cesspit.
She's here to torture you.
No. Really, I'm a scientist.
Is what?
A healthcare scientist. Do any of you know what that is? I diagnose people.
Ugh! It boils and plagues.
What sorcery is this? I shut my mouth and speak of naught.
God, what do we know about the prisoner?
They caught him lurking under the houses of Parliament by a pile of wood.
A bonfire.
Bonfire, says you? Zounds nay, there was indeed all manner of crated goods and barrels thereabouts, perhaps of mead or oil or wine, I know not. For said wood was all trampled perchance by the king's own men or elephants, who knoweth? Yet verily it was broke all into sticks before I ever came thence.
So you're saying you didn't build the bonfire?
Milady, doth hear me like my truest friend?
That's not true. Zap him, Lily.
And what other evidence have we got?
He had about him sticks and spills for lighting a fire.
Matches. Do you have them?
Over yawns.
I'll analyse these later. What's your name?
It's John.
John what?
John Johnson. A simple, honest name for an honest, simple, honest man. Lately arrived in London, I met a fellow who offered me a job to guard his pile of wood. I know not why.
And the matches?
The place I was to guard, being underground, was dark. He gave me matches. Said he would bring me a lantern by and by, but he did not. I know not why.
Anything else?
I asked yon fellow if I might have a seat to sit, lest my feet ache from standing guard. He shewed me barrels full of gunpowder they were. I know not why.
Oh, that's it. I've heard enough.
What means you with that blade, lady?
To find out the truth.
Aha! Torture!
Nonsense. This will not hurt him at all. A slight scratch, nothing more.
Please, I beg you, princess, don't let the PI scientist wound me.
It won't hurt if she says it won't, but Lily knows powerful magic. She can weave a spell upon your blood so it will whisper all your secrets, and that's true.
Well, that's not really how DNA works. But yeah, it's a bit like that. Yes.
All right. I'm not John Johnson. I'm Guide or Fawkes, plotter, and admit me crime. But you won't catch the others. Villains they are, determined to succeed, and I know not where they're hid.
Listen, Guido. I'm glad you're thinking about telling the truth, but your blood in this sample can tell us everything. When I analyse this, I'll know who you are. By the antibodies in your blood against plague, how recently you came to London, and who you've been in contact with.
You'll never stop him.
Guard, do you have a boat we could borrow to get to the House of Parliament?
Me old water taxi here. Just let me get my salted fish supper from the bottom of the boat.
Wash that before you eat it. And your hands.
Not in the river.
Oh, there are all kinds of bacteria, tiny living organisms in rivers. Some of them could give you a stomach upset or worse. So always wash your hands in clean water by boiling it. And at least get rid of this filthy straw.
Wash, but not water. Boils in filthy straw.
Let me write out the hygiene rules for you.
I can't read.
I'm 9 and I can read in 3 languages.
I'm 29 and I'm not royalty. When I need to remember something, I make a rhyme.
Okay, well, let's try and think of a rhyme for you then. Okay, yeah, then the princess and I must hurry. Hand hygiene is important because...
If you eat with hands that smell, you'll make yourself unwell.
Oh, yes, that's a good start.
I work in the neck and I often get sick.
I like rhymes. You hear people all day long outside the palace, like Fred the baker and cake maker, all shouting the news. The rhyme they're all saying about the plot. Remember, remember the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason and plot. We see no reason why gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. It's a bit scary, really. Lily is brave and she makes me feel safe. She says it will all turn out fine. What Lily did with Guy Fawkes, how she made him talk with her test was so clever. But what about Rosa and Frank? How can they get a pile of wood to tell them anything? And if wood can't talk, how will the other plotters be found? It's after midnight, but I'm not tired. I hope we catch them in time. Ring of roses, a pocket full of posies.
6, 7, 8 meters across here.
Oh, I must say.
And 8 meters lengthwise. Rosa?
I'll call this Search Sector C.
This coded message of yours was really rather good.
A simple substitution code, Sir Jasper. The princess thought you, as head of security for the Parliament, wouldn't want to let anyone in, particularly with this plot.
Oh, no, no, indeed. One has to be really careful. Dear guards, not that I am a guard, you understand, I am head of security.
Yes, you said.
These people may be strange, yes, but they are here to help. Apparently they can use good magic they call science to help us find the gunpowder plotters. Please let them into the Houses of Parliament and listen to what they say. Code name, Sugared Violet.
Do you mind, Sir Jasper?
Do I mind what?
You're standing in a crime scene.
Oh, how awfully thrilling. Am I safe to this side?
This is where the barrels of gunpowder and some barrels of river water were discovered. Is that right?
Oh, yes, yes. What they wanted with the river water, one has no idea.
We think the barrels were waterlogged. We found tiny particles of gunpowder.
And over here, the piles of wood?
Yes, and that strange fellow with the awfully big hat.
There are traces of blood where one of the plotters hurt himself before he ran away.
You can see those tiny invisible things. Remarkable.
We haven't got any of our equipment or machines from the lab. Or do you have any lenses or telescopes of any kind at the palace?
Yes, I believe we do. I'll go and discover them.
Can you magnify the river samples enough to spot the diatoms?
I think so. If you investigate the blood from the wood.
Oh.
Your Highness.
Nice.
You silly sciencers. You can call me Elizabeth if you let me help.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Will you help us look at the map?
We've got traces of blood.
And I've got a blood sample from Guy Fawkes, who has confessed to being a plotter but says he doesn't know where the others are hiding.
We think we know the names of the other plotters, and Elizabeth has pointed out their houses on the map. So their hideaway will be at any of these 4 possible places.
But which one? Lily? Lily, which one?
I don't know yet. We need to test the samples of river water to see the microorganisms or diatoms. Every river is different, so we can work out which river the water came from.
The wood fragments we found are from the trees that grow in these areas of the map, so we can cross-reference the locations with the rivers.
You have to do all that. I thought you knew everything.
We only know what we can find out by experiments and testing.
That's what science is.
That is science. All these little bits and spots and diatomatoes. And adding up. That's worse than homework.
Elizabeth,
Science is rubbish. It takes forever and you'll never find the plotters. They'll make me queen and the crown will squash my head and it's all your fault.
Lily's doing her best.
We all are.
I'm not listening. I'm going to sit in the boat and stick my head in the water and drink until I'm sick.
She won't do it, will she?
Elizabeth. Princess.
Go away. If my dad, the king, was here with his army, they'd jump on their horses and chase all over the country to find out where the baddies are.
But Lily wants to know where they are first because that's scientific.
Science is boring and poo.
When I was a little girl, I used to think science was boring or something only boys did.
Girls can do anything boys can. I can speak French and ride a horse with my eyes closed, and that's true. I'm nearly 10.
10, eh? I didn't look through a microscope till I was 12.
What's a microscope?
A special lens-shaped glass makes things appear bigger.
When I was 12, someone showed me what river water looks like magnified, with all those tiny living organisms moving about inside.
Like a tiny zoo.
And if you thought science was a kind of magic, in a way you're right, because when you look through a magnifying glass, it's another world.
Look inside.
What are they? Little fluffy, wiggly, all that life is in there.
Not only that, but all those diatoms in the glass tell us everywhere the river has been, what soil, what rocks, what plants it flowed over, where it comes from.
Got a match.
The River Oakley.
We know where they are.
Yes.
Look, I know some of you are really disappointed about missing the lecture on mass spectrometry, but for anyone interested, you can visit our lab after the pandemic is over. And if you're interested in microbiology or pathology in general, you should look up the SFAM or Royal College of Pathologists online, because now we really want to tell you the next part of our story. See, none of us had ridden before, but Princess Elizabeth showed us how to hold the reins, and soon we were galloping along the muddy roads out of London as the sun was coming up and the fog cleared until at last we saw Holbeach House, home of Robert Catesby, ringleader of the Gunpowder Plot. Rockwood, Digby, Tresham, give yourselves up.
No.
Never.
Okay, here's the thing. Someone scratched themselves on the wooden barrels left in the undercroft. Wasn't Guido Fawkes, because it's not his blood type. Whoever was scratched got an infection. It's not just living things like microorganisms or fungi that helped us track you down. It's chemicals found in the environment. And in our lab, we can identify them by mass spectroscopy because different chemicals or residues have different molecular masses. The results of the mass spectroscopy at the scene, they look like this. If we're in our lab, the material that has all of its peaks is the one that's at the scene. But we don't need to do that because your cough is identifying that one of you is infected. You are the Gunpowder Plotters. In our time, you'd have been vaccinated, but we know that you are not. You're ill, and we can help, but you have to give yourselves up. Off to the tower.
What do you think? I took your advice about cleaning up.
It's spotless. I'm impressed.
Guy doesn't look very pleased.
He's just fed up because he's going to be hung, drawn and quartered.
What?
Yeah, I'm afraid that is actually true. Guy? Guido?
Prithee, damsel, stay back, torment me not with your evil needles.
Listen, Guy. I and my team, we are the opposite of the Gunpowder Plotters who just want to do harm. We are healthcare scientists. Your plotter mate, Everard Digby, was infected with bacteria. Yersinia pestis, when he was injured, carrying the pile of wood. All we wanted to do was keep Princess Elizabeth safe and find him and get him treated.
That is why we are plotting. All the people in our towns up north and in Midlands are sick, and we've had plague, and we don't know what to do. No one in Parliament is helping us.
Are you always washing your hands?
What's part of that?
There are lots of things you can do to stop diseases.
Why, she's right. I ain't ever felt so well since I stopped spitting on my food to wash my vegetables.
We can teach everyone to stop catching bugs.
Yes, Your Highness, but your father, His Majesty, he's really set on the hanging and the drawing and the quartering.
No, I won't allow it. We shall teach all the plotters about hand washing and let them go. I will talk to my father.
Begging your pardons, we can't just pardon him.
You must, and teach them your rhymes. So the knowledge that you pass on becomes the antidote to infection by plague and all these other illnesses.
I don't think the king would allow it. The hanging and whatnot is a disincentive against other crime.
I have it. As I have been John Johnson, Guy and Guido Fawkes, I and my fellow plotters shall new names take again. Mr. Scientist, Sir Infection, simple, honest names. No one shall know us, and a story shall be invented and spread abroad that we were hanged, so that no one else will ever dare to plot against Parliament again. And we can pay for our crimes by going out and spreading good across the world.
Well, no sooner was the plan agreed, the birds began to sing. It was almost daylight, and we rushed away and rowed the boat back to the top of Land's Conduit Street. And then we rushed in here to tell you.
And that was the end of the adventure.
We never had a chance to say goodbye to Princess Elizabeth, and I hope that she continues her interest in science when she grows up.
Sorry to startle you, and apologies for the costume. We're having a special event to celebrate Pathology Week at Gosh. I'm Eliza, by the way, the biomedical engineer. You called me in about your malfunctioning MALDI-TOF. I've had a look and I really can't find anything wrong with it.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
That's fine. Anytime. Goodbye.
Well, all we have to do now is write up our reports.
Did anyone bring their notes back with them from 1605? Well, we have no evidence. No one will ever believe this happened.
Never mind. Plenty of real work to be getting on with.
Yeah, how's it coming along with the COVID-19 tests?
I'm starting a new batch of samples. Just need to go wash my hands.
Yeah.
Wash your hands.
Do you hear that?
Wash your hands.
Chanting.
Wash your hands.
That voice reminds me of being in the Tower of London.
Get in line. All right, you horrible, smelly prisoners. What do healthcare scientists do? Healthcare scientists are often considered the forgotten workforce in the
NHS.
We are small in numbers, but for impact,
We're the best.
80% of diagnoses and therefore people put on the pathway to better health have had that diagnosis made by
HCS.
We don't just work in labs. Many of you will meet us and assume we're doctors and nurses. But we ain't. We are healthcare scientists. What do we say? Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
And again,
Wash your hands.
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 Wash your hands.